Good morning, everyone. Molweni. It's so amazing. I mean, I stand here in front of you. If you had to push me with a finger right now, I would fall over probably. Thank you, Professor Anthony. Thank you all. Chancellor, Mr. Manuel, Chairperson of Council, Mr. Njokweni, and other distinguished members of the Council, Vice Chairman, Vice Chancellor, Dr. Nebutalu, and other distinguished members of the executive management of CPUT, deans of faculties, distinguished academic and executive staff of CPUT, distinguished guests, family and friends of our graduates. I thank you for affording me this opportunity. And most of all, I thank God to allow me to stand here before you. If I proceed, to all our graduates today, the esteemed class of 2015, congratulations and well done. I feel extremely honored and privileged to have been one of the chosen to address you in this special day. CPUT could have chosen any more successful and well-known people in this country, but they chose me. I'm sure you haven't seen me on TV or any media, so I come as ordinary as they come. It has become the testimony of what you can achieve out there with the right attitude and conviction. Having a 20-year-old daughter who sometimes considers my advice archaic, it makes it ironic that I'm here to plant a seed that will inspire you to enthusiastically pursue your dream despite the occasional curveball life will throw at you. And there's going to be many of those curveballs. It is interesting when I listen to the CV, sometimes it's like, gee whiz, it's an over-exaggeration of what you have done in your life. But at the end of the day, it's culmination of those experiences, and good or bad, they have molded a person to what I am today. My only hope is that you will, at some stage in your life, use some of what I'm going to share with you as a point of reference when needed. As earlier mentioned, that I'm not the famous or well-known. Question is, how did I get here? How did I end up here? What can I possibly share with young, courageous achievers like you? I'm not your average public speaker. As I said, in fact, I'm so scared. If one would push me, I would fall over. I'm not the smartest and definitely not the most academic. Probably the first time I'm surrounded by so many doctors and distinguished academics in my career life, except when I normally go for my annual medicals. I'm not the most successful. I have my shortcomings like anyone else, like stuttering. That's why I talk slow and I have to reflect every time. Tautology. So my wife and daughter always remind me of this. And please don't do that and embarrass us. That was the lecture I got this morning. So where am I going with all this? The fact is, you don't need to be perfect. No one is. Rather spend more time and energy focusing on your strengths, perfecting those strengths, honing those skills, rather than looking back. Be conscious, though, of your limitations and learn to manage and control them. That is what is the basic of art of self-correction. Life happened to me 50 years ago, although no, not many of you would believe that. I did not have half the nurturing and advice you guys have. I naively grabbed life by the horns. Boy, did it fight back. It was a rough ride. To be fair, it has mostly been good and bad experiences combined. As I said, that is what has molded me in my journey. And that is what has brought me here today, to share some of my experiences with you. It's not about me. This is your special day, and you must be very proud of yourselves. Today we are here to celebrate the result of your toil and selfless sacrifice, total dedication and investment to a better future, not only for yourselves and your family, but to the country as a whole, and not to mention the whole universe. Today marks a significant milestone in your life's journey. You are indeed a very special group of graduates, because you graduate in a year when your alma mater, CPUT, also celebrates its 10th year anniversary. This is an important milestone in the history of this institution. I have chosen to share my basic formula of success as it has applied to my journey. I call it basic because I truly believe there is nothing sophisticated about what I'm going to share. However, it has, over the years, helped me achieve whatever little success I have. Being here today and looking at the beautiful smiles in your faces reminds me of my own journey. No matter what life throws at you, stay positive and give it your best shot. A total stranger might just throw you a lifeline. Back then, when I completed matric, I couldn't secure a bursary, although I had my exemption. And the only immediate option that I had at that time that was available was to work as a petrol attendant. Maybe that was the first touch I had with the oil industry. The service station was in Ngobo in Transkei. Some of you might know where that is. Yep. I swallowed my pride, but I kept my dreams alive, and that is what I expect from you. I gave it my best shot. Some people even thought I was modest, that my family owned the establishment. When you carry yourself, that is what makes people believe. And I tried to convince them otherwise, but I wasn't successful. Management couldn't contain their satisfaction and quickly charged me to being supervisor of their forecourt operations. Little did I know who the actual owner of that service station was. It's a surprise. It happens to be Chief Matanzima, who was the then Transkei head of state. Head of state. As a young student activist and revolutionary at the time, I got an instant fright at the mere sight of the man. I may be tall, but I think he was more. 6 foot tall with an imposing character. He was apparently passionate about education, and when my circumstance, drive, and adaptability was shared with him, he assisted me to secure a bursary to further my education. Would you have thought that? No, I wouldn't have. I'd be having mixed feelings if a statue was erected in his memory, though. But I'm just kidding. I want you to stay your ground, your values that mold your character, your beliefs. That is what you take out to the world, and no matter what happens, don't waver. It makes me think clearly, back those days, an extract from a letter that was written by Lawrence Tutu, who was a journalist in the Eastern Cape, to my son. He said, "My son, never, ever be an informer." The employers of an informer don't have any respect for him because they know he is as dangerous to them as he is to the people he informs about. It's better a dry slice of bread honestly earned than a thick slab of cheese dipped in the blood of your brethren. Believe in yourself and stay the course. Your dedication and qualification are a solid foundation. But you must not fool yourselves or be naive in thinking that most people that you cross paths with will openly embrace and support your career aspirations. Some will blatantly squash them, without giving it any thought. I have personally experienced this a couple of times, even within my current organization. One example that is still vivid in my mind was when one of the senior managers back then told me I was not even cut to be in retail sales. When I wanted to move from commercial to start my career in retail, hurt as I was, I didn't lose focus. I was determined to go after my aspirations, as I believed I deserved better. He would probably fall off his chair if he was still around, as I would have now been his business unit head. Hard work, determination, and personal sacrifice, especially when you go after something you believe and you're passionate about, always pays in the end. The greatest martyrs and distinguished personalities, like the great Nelson Mandela, are a true testimony that this concept works. All we have to do is work hard to secure our rightful share. I believe that one can never truly be considered to be successful unless through your actions you continue to remember where you come from. It's an old learning of life. You must never forget who you are and where you come from. At times you must remember that you are who you are because of the sacrifices that have been made by others, be it your family or friends, and especially those people back there who have supported you throughout. None of us would achieve any success on our own, and we have responsibility to make sure that we empower those who come after. I also want to congratulate CPUT and join in celebrating its 10-year anniversary. This is an important milestone. This institution will not grow and reach its potential unless you, as the alumni, continue to contribute long after you have received your qualifications. You need to take pride in being ambassadors of this institution and not to make the usual mistake of not associating yourselves with your institution and associate yourselves with institutions that we regard or think are more prestigious. You must remember this is your alma mater. This is the mother that has nurtured you and instilled the knowledge that you will now take to the world. In true African spirit, one should never forget their mother. Charity begins at home. It is no coincidence that all of the successful institutions with a strong history have strong alumni. The challenge is now with you, and we hope that when you start to join the working world, you will avail yourself as mentors to university or high school children and pass on the same knowledge and resources that were passed on by those who came before you. In summary, I would like to recap everything I've said, and that makes that basic formula for success. You do not need to be perfect. No one is. Education you have received so far is a firm foundation from which you must build on. It's just the beginning. To achieve your goals and success, you need to stay focused and always give it your best shot. Believe in yourself and stay the course. Never forget where you come from. And most importantly, you must fight for what you believe in. Challenges we sometimes face do not define who we are. It's how we respond to those challenges that define us. You must always remember the words of the American essayist, lecturer, and poet Ralph Waldo Emerson, who said the following: whatever course of action you decide upon, there is always someone to tell you that you are wrong. There are always difficulties arising which tempt you to believe that your critics are right. To map up your course of action and follow it to the end requires courage. And I dare you all to be courageous. It almost sounds cliche, But successful countries the world over, one thing is at heart of their achievement is education. And not just any education, but quality education. Today we celebrate you having received that quality education. You dare not let it go to waste. As a parting shot, I would like to quote William Penn when he says, I shall pass this world but once. Any good thing, therefore, that I can do, or any kindness that I can show it to you, any human being, let me do it now, or defer it, for I shall not pass this way again. Don't regret for not doing what you should have done to uplift your country. I thank you.